In my last two videos, hello. In my last two videos, I went into some injuries that I've done to my hands, my poor dear hands. One I did with my hawkbill, which was on the ground, and I was just moving my hand around, and I just nicked the point there, the very ever so sharp, pointy point of the hawkbill. Let me get it out of my pocket. You can take a look at this point. Yeah, you don't really want to be brushing that, even casually. And what it made me think, and I neglected to mention that in the video, which annoys me, so now I'll get it out of the way, that this on the ground, if it's just over here and then you're focused, it's in the grass, nestled between the patina and the brown handle, kind of blends into the periphery. And I am accustomed to carrying my GEC, which I got from Captain Electro, which has wonderful orange handles. And I don't think that would have happened if I'd been using the orange one. So there we go, I said that. And then about the dislocating my finger, well, actually, there is a cut there as well. So cut here, cut there. I'm not actually sure whether that is technically a cut or whether it's just that the skin burst like on a fruit because, black, and then there just wasn't enough space, or possibly a combination of factors. And I got another one here. And how did I get this? Now, I don't often actually cut myself. I'm cutting myself all the time, but I don't usually cut myself using the knife, such that I'm cutting and then I accidentally cut myself. And if I did, that would be big trouble. Because, I'm out swinging something like this and you accidentally hit yourself, you're maybe going to lose a finger. Legit. Not like people say, oh, that's a guillotine, oh, that'll take your finger off with the full shot. No, it won't. But you could take your finger off very easily with this knife. A Maxace Vortex 2.0. It's a really goofy thing. Why did I buy it? Same as, I guess, any knife that I buy nowadays, because I got enough knives to be getting on with. But I just, I need to know for myself. I need to touch, I need to handle. Now, I don't have any knife shops around me that sell things like this, so I just see it online, see some videos, go on the website, and so yeah, I got this. I already took the pocket clip off and put it here in the bag with all this wonderful spare hardware. They give you spare everything, seemingly. Well, they don't give you a spare pocket clip. And they don't give you a spare one of these, which is goes in there and it locks the blade in place. We shall demonstrate. Well, that was a failed open. The best way to open this, I discovered, because I did the shake test, and you can do that in any direction. It's not like a wrist flick. It's that way or that way. Well, maybe I can even do it this way and not hit the camera. We'll see how much clearance I got. There we go. A weighty unit. Plenty of amazing detail. Really a work of art. But it's a knife, so I wanted to use it, right? So I put the little thingy in. Went out to the oak that I cut down. Now, I did discover that this is not like a perfect tolerance thing here. So that's a little disappointing, because it would be cool if it were really locked in. Then that would be protecting your locking mechanism, right? would be taking the strain off this and putting it there. Well, maybe that wouldn't be better. I don't know. But, you know, it's a little feature. Maybe it's a gimmick. It's kind of cool. Kind of smart, I think. So yeah, I went out to the oak and was chopping some, you know, the fine branchlets, the twigs. I'm chopping them up and making bundles, making faggots. And this is very sharp. Here I can demonstrate with this piece of wood. See the shavings? So you start, you hold this like this, and you swing it once, and it gouges a hole in your finger. So is this, what do they call it? Unconventional warfare, right? Take my money and wound me in return for a beautiful and useless item, you know? Doesn't chop for shit, honestly. But it may do, because geometry, right? We got this thick, flat grind going into a very steep final bevel, so it doesn't cut in very well, just glances. Nothing compared to the Big Muck. But yeah, really cool, and perhaps once I've reground, which I guess I am going to do, because this is the thing, right? This is an art piece kind of thing. Why would you start grinding on this? Well, because the grind isn't perfect. It's not, I mean, it's very, very good, but if I run my hands down here, I can feel, and maybe you'll be able to see that there is a little deviation here. It's a little lumpen there, okay? So that's not perfect. So I'm not ruining perfect. Well, there you go. You can see it's not lining up with the handle all that perfectly. So yeah, I can just gouge into it, scratch it up, blah 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 blah, make it perform, and at some point, presumably then the blade could be refinished and be even more beautiful than it is now, with a full convex. And as for this issue here, well, it's either wear gloves, and not gloves that you don't want to scratch up and ruin, or get in there and polish out that, you know, which will kind of ruin this crispy aesthetic. Or another idea I had is make some little pieces of leather or rubber that glue in there and can flex and stand a little proud. And I suppose if that were done right, it wouldn't really interfere, but would stop one's hand from getting shredded. Okay, so they say these things come in threes. It's my 3 hand injuries covered and done. Now I don't need to have any more. Thanks for watching.